Welcome in. So leave the area open.
Wait, can I grab my other one?
Are you ready, Jake? Almost? Okay. Come on in. We're about to start yelling out here, so go this direction.
Yeah, there's 12 points to the loss, right? Courteous, yes. Courteous. I guess I'm right here.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Here we go.
Where am I supposed to?
Oh. You're fine where you are.
Okay.
When we're supposed to come up, we'll come up.
Okay.
We'll get escorted.
Okay.
Okay. Ocho, número ocho. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Hey, so thank you everyone for coming to Jude's Court of Honor, his Eagle Court of Honor. I appreciate y'all taking time out to celebrate with us and possibly do some wacky scouting things. Wacky microphone things too. Okay, awesome. So the first thing I would like to tell you guys is that we have some housekeeping items, and those are, oh, and then send CJ out with the other scouts. Off you go, CJ. Thanks for being here. Be loud in a minute here. We have the whole upstairs of the building right now. It has floors and rooms and stuff that we're not really using tonight, so just kind of stay upstairs. There are restrooms yonder in this hall, and then when we're all done, there's food out there in the foyer, in the fireside sort of room. So we have lots of food, so hope everybody brought an extra stomach. Okay, so again, I would say that if there are any issues with the presentation here tonight, that's my fault. So I'll take the blame in case anything doesn't go super smooth. But we're all just here to celebrate Jude and scouting and stuff and have fun. And I'd also like to say welcome to the folks that are watching the live stream. So Jude's family lives in California a bunch, and they're blinking right now. No, I know how this camera stuff works. So it's touchy. So hi to all our lovely family out there in California. And I will say that right now we're about to hear from the troop, and you won't be able to see them because they're in the back. They're going to be noisy, and so we figured they should just do it out there. So take it away, troop. Yes.
You lied. There we go. Howdy, everybody. So, here we go. I didn't plan for this, but
Yeah,
Whatever.
you're off script right now.
Oh.
We all are. How about you send the color guard out?
Color guard, if you could stand and head on out, and I will give this off.
Color guard attention. Audience attention. Audience, please rise for the posting of the colors. Color guard, forward march. Proper hand salute. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Color guard, halt. Color guard, prepare to post the colors. Color guard, post the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Scout signs. Please join me in the Scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. 2. Color guard, reform ranks. Color guard, about, face. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Color guard at ease. Audience, you may be seated.
Welcome, I'm Chris Knight, Scoutmaster for Troop 123. I'd like to thank you all for being here tonight, and I'd like to introduce Father Joseph Barnes to come forward and give us an invocation.
Holy God, we come here in joyful celebration of Jude's achievements, his hard work, and his dedication to scouting. We rejoice in the gifts you have bestowed upon him: perseverance, dedication, wisdom, friendship, loyalty, helpfulness, compassion, generosity. May the values he has learned in scouting offer him guidance in the years ahead as he navigates the world around him. Bless him, bless those who guided him in the way, bless those who journeyed with him, bless those who encouraged him, and bless those who will join him in his journey ahead. We ask this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
when you're up at some of these campouts. It's a lot of fun. In fact, I think Jude had a song he wanted to lead us all in before we get into a lot of this stuff.
But we'll also need the troop up here for that.
As you can see, we like to have a lot of fun when we do Scouts. We like to get up, get physical, and make sure that they have a good time every night. Aside from all the civics and hard work that they put in, they tend to have a lot of fun, both at camps and at their meetings. So as Scoutmaster for Troop 123, it's my pleasure to declare that this Eagle Court of Honor for Jude Hosking is now open. Would the Honor Guard please escort Jude forward? Our Honor Guard tonight is Ivor Iverson and Quinlan Killingstead. As we begin this Eagle Court of Honor, we like to examine the trail to Eagle. It is fitting that we start with the fundamental principles of Scouting, the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. In Scouting, as in most activities in life, there are rules. The rules of Scouting are found in the 12 points of the Scout Law. As the Scouts read each point of the Scout Law, let us pay careful attention to the words and rededicate ourselves to the principles contained in these words. Boys, would you come forward? Line up back there. Line up back there. Who's got trustworthy? I do.
A scout is trustworthy. A scout tells the truth. He keeps his promises. Honesty is a part of his code of conduct.
A scout is loyal. The scout is true to his friends, family, scout leaders, school, nation, and world community.
A scout is helpful. A scout is concerned about other people and he willingly volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward.
A scout is friendly. A scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to other scouts. He seeks to understand others. He respects those with ideas and customs that are different from his own.
A scout is polite to everyone, regardless of age or position. He knows that good manners make it easier for people to get along together.
A scout is kind. A scout understands their strength in being gentle. He treats others as he wants to be treated. He does not harm or kill anything without reason.
A scout is obedient. A scout follows the rules of his family, school, and troop. He obeys the laws of his community and country. If he thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he tries to have them changed in an orderly manner rather than disobey them.
A scout is cheerful. A scout looks for the bright side of life. He cheerfully does tasks that comes his way. He tries to make others happy.
A scout is thrifty. A scout works to pay his way and to help others. He saves for the future. He protects and conserves natural resources. He carefully uses time and property.
A scout is brave. A scout can face danger even if he is afraid. He has the courage to stand for what he thinks, even if others laugh at him or threaten him.
A scout is clean. A scout keeps his body and mind fit and clean. He goes around with those who believe in living by these same ideals. He helps keep his home and community clean.
A scout is reverent. A scout is reverent towards God. He is faithful in his religious duties. He respects the beliefs of others.
Thank you, gentlemen. You can sit down. The pathway to Eagle can be described as a steep trail leading up to 3 peaks, the highest being that of Eagle Scout. Officially, the trail starts with the tenderfoot rank and continues through 2nd and 1st class. Then the mountain climbing begins. The path is marked with merit badges, leadership responsibilities, service projects, and the practice of scouting skills and ideals. The first peak reached is that of Star Scout. The second is Life, and finally, the Eagle Scout. Would the Honor Guard please escort Jude's parents forward? It is my pleasure to introduce Kara and Ross Hosking. We will now hear the story of Jude's Trail to Eagle. Each part will be told by a scout holding their respective rank. Christopher, would you come forward, please?
To earn the rank of Tenderfoot Scout, Jude did the following. He was active in the troop and his patrol for at least 2 months. He memorizes the Scout oath and law. He explained the meaning of each point of the Scout law. He practiced these ideals in his everyday life. He He had a personal growth conference and a board of review.
Thank you, Christopher. Tristan, will you please come tell us about second class?
In earning the rank of second class scout, Jude did the following. He was active in the troop and his patrol for at least 2 months after earning tenderfoot. He showed scout spirit, and he had a personal growth conference and a board of review.
Thank you, Tristan. Jack, will you come forward and tell us about first class, please?
To earn the rank of first class scout, Jude did the following. He demonstrated basic orienteering skills. He participated in 10 trooper patrol activities. He served as patrol cook on a campout. He discussed the rights and obligations of a citizen. He identified 10 kinds of native plants. He demonstrated ability with knots and lashings. He demonstrated first aid skills. He swam 100 yards. He showed scout spirit. He had a personal growth conference and a board of review.
Thank you, Jack. Ivor, will you please come tell us about the star rank?
In earning the rank of Star Scout, Jude did the following. He was active in the troop for at least 4 months after earning first class. He showed scout spirit. From the list of required merit badges for Eagle, he earned citizenship in the world, first aid, cooking, and personal fitness. He did at least 6 hours of service projects. He served at least 4 months in a troop leadership position, and he had a personal growth conference and a board of review.
Thank you, Ivor. Aiden, would you please come tell us about Life Scout rank?
In order to earn the rank of Life Scout, Jude did the following. He was active in the troop for at least 6 months after earning Star. He showed scout spirit. He earned archery and game design merit badges. From the list of required merit badges for Eagle, he earned family life and communication. He did at least 6 hours of service projects. He served at least 6 months in a troop leadership position, and he had a personal growth conference and a board of review.
Thank you, Aiden. And Quinlan, will you please come tell us what he had to do to earn the Eagle rank?
To earn the rank of Eagle, Jude did the following. He was active in the troop for at least 6 months. He showed scout spirit. He earned the rest of the required merit badges. He served as SPL for over 6 months. He planned, developed, and gave leadership to others in a service project. His project was to rebuild a greenhouse for All Saints Church. He participated in a Scoutmaster Conference, and he was reviewed by the Board of Review, which included representatives from Tapawinga District, as well as members from the Committee of Troop 123.
Thank you, Quinlan. Would all Eagle Scouts present please stand with Jude as he rededicates himself to the principles of scouting by repeating the Scout Oath, or the Eagle Scout Oath. Jude, please make the Scout sign and repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the 3 promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example, and my status and my influence count strongly for better scouting and better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. 2. I would like to introduce now Chris Nichols, Who will deliver the Eagle Charge?
An Eagle Scout Challenge. The foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. The Eagle Scout knows that a scout is trustworthy, is the very first point of the Scout Law for a good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably, not only because honor is important, but because it is vitally important to set an example for other Scouts. Living honorably reflects credit on your home, your place of worship, your troop, and your community. May the white of the Eagle Badge remind you to always live with honor. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. This means being true to your family, Scout leaders, and your friends, school, community, and nation. Loyalty to the troop and your fellow Scouts makes you pitch in and carry your share of the load. All of these help to build the loyalty that means devotion to community, to country, to one's own ideals, and to God. Let the blue of the Eagle Badge always inspire your loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Courage has always been a quality by which people measure themselves and others. To a Scout, bravery means not only the courage to face danger, but also the determination to stand up for what is right. Trusting in God, with faith in your fellow citizens, you can look forward to each day, seeking your share of the world's work to do. Let the red of the Eagle Badge remind you always of courage. The fourth obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be cheerful, to remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile. The red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to the scroll of the second-class Scout rank, which has its ends turned up in a smile. Another critical responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. Eagle Scouts extend a helping hand to those who still toil up Scouting's trail, just as others have helped them in their climb. The performance of the daily good turn takes on a new meaning when the Eagle Scout enters an adult life of continuing service to others. Eagle Scouts stand as protectors of the weak and helpless, aiding and comforting the unfortunate and the oppressed. They uphold the rights of others while defending their own. As an Eagle Scout, you will always be prepared to put forth your best. You deserve much credit for having achieved Scouting's highest rank, but wear your reward with humility, ever mindful that the Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. May the Scout Oath and the Scout Law be your guides for tomorrow and into the future.
Thank you, Chris. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Troop 123 Advancement Chair, Michael Killingstead.
Good evening. Now that Jude has taken the oath and heard all the responsibilities, it's my honor to pin the award on him. So, Jude, please come up here. Chris, would you help me? Please give Jude a round of applause. So, along the way to Eagle Scout, there are many important people, like your Scoutmaster. But there are two that kind of start you on the path and keep you going. Two and maybe more. But can I have Jude's parents come up here? Ross and Kara. So, to honor the parents, we have a pin for each one of them. So Jude, in recognition of the wisdom and guidance given to you by your father, will you please present him with this eagle pin to wear proudly in remembrance of your accomplishments? Stick myself. I'll put it in my mouth later. And now, also in recognition of many hours and patient guidance given by her in your efforts. Whoa. The most patient of all of us. Please give your mother a pin. Also, along the way, there's oftentimes those individuals that, through their subtle efforts, really stick out in the help of an Eagle Scout. An Eagle Scout is not an easy thing to get, especially near the end. And Jude has one of those. We call them mentors, and Jude would like to introduce one.
Well, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I know the mentor pin's coming up. Who do I want to give that to? And I realized it's not really a question. Mr. Knight, could you join me up here for a moment?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm going to put this down now and present you with the mentor pin. I don't know who I give this back to.
Actually, I think it's Chris's turn.
Awesome.
But
thank you for everything.
Thank you. Thank you. Jude. Thank you. Sir.
Another round of applause for Jude. At this point in the Court of Honor, we would like to invite anybody up who would like to make any remarks about Jude. Any of you scouts from Troop 123 have any juicy stories you want to tell about him? Now is the chance. All right, Christopher.
So I started 2 years ago, and he was there just sitting in the background. And so I'm going to tell you a story about how I almost dropped the flag, American one. So I was doing Code of Honor, color guard, my bad. and I was doing American flag, and I was trying to roll up the American flag. Clumsy hands over here. Mr. Eagle here. I couldn't even see you. It was A to B. It's like from there to here. It's just like, remember, don't let the flag drop. And I was just like crying over there. He's just like, oh, don't. It's first time didn't you say you almost did it too? Yeah. So it's not it's very common for us scouts too. So Jude was always with the newcomers and me for helping other people to get to any rank they need help. So let's give him a round of applause for helping others. And that's it.
All right, Quinlan.
So I've known Jude for a really long time. I've gone through my entire scouting career right behind him. And one of the most memorable times with Jude, when I really first met him, we were up at Klondike. And usually when you get up to Klondike, you got a patrol of like 8 people and a lot of people to watch your back. But this year, for some reason, it was just Jude and I. Running at this competition camp as 2 scouts. There were some stations that we got to where we had to elect a different person from a different troop to help us complete the challenge. But I'm not going to talk about that. We had a lot of good experiences there, but one of the most memorable ones was the sled race. On the last day of Klondike, you all line up and you have this sled that you've been dragging around all through the snow all weekend, and you and your troop take it and you race against each other. And at this time, I was smaller than Jude by quite a bit. So I start out in this sled, and there's 2 of us, and he's pushing really hard. All the other troops are zooming by, but here's Jude just chugging along. He's pushing me. We're in this canoe that's filling up with snow because we haven't fixed a hole in it. Okay, well, we get to the halfway point, and I have to get out. I have to push Jude. And Jude, at this time, I think may have been, were you 120? Whatever, he was about 40 pounds heavier than me, and I was like 75 pounds, absolutely no muscle, pushing Jude in this canoe. And he said some things that were really helpful then. I don't exactly remember them, but I remember the feeling that he was there to help me. And that even though he was an insurmountable task that I had to push through, he was still there for me. So let's give a round of applause to Jude.
Ivor.
A couple summers ago, I don't know how many of us, we all went down to Louisiana for a 65-mile canoe through the bayous, and one of the nights we spent on an island called Rougarou Island. For those of you who don't know what the Rougarou is, it's basically this monster, Cajun wolf, sorry, werewolf, who lives on this island that we were staying at. And so we were talking about it, and we have this theory Jude came up with, that it's actually 3 raccoons in a 3-piece suit. We came up with this because the raccoons that live on that island like to eat all the stuff that the campers bring. So one kid brought Adderall and a bunch of protein powder to make it through the trip. Well, the raccoon broke in, ate the Adderall and the protein powder, and is now known as Swole Coon. So we're convinced he and a couple buddies found a three-piece suit, and now they all live on Rougarou Island, scaring all the campers. So.
Aiden?
Now, I've only been in Troop 123 for about a year, a half, maybe 2 years. Honestly, I don't know. Time flies by very quickly. But I've known Jude since we were both Tiger Scouts at the age of, 7? Is that about right? Yeah, 6 or 7. So I've known him for a while. We were together in Cub Scouts, all the way from Tiger Cub, all the way up to second year Webelos, or I think they're called Arrow of Lives now. They were called second year Webelos when we were at that age. But when it came time to cross over into Boy Scout troops, we went slightly separate ways. Jude obviously went into 123, but I, on the other hand, decided to go into another troop, which was sort of the sister troop or / friendly rival of Troop 123 at the time, which was Troop 49. Now, many years passed. I occasionally saw Jude at competition camps, and occasionally saw him at some church events, because the church I go to is just so happens to be the church that 123 meets at. So that's a happy coincidence. So I'd occasionally see him, helping out at church. But we spent some time apart. But eventually, through a bunch of unfortunate, experiences, 49 lost a lot of members and unfortunately had to basically shut down. So I ended up moving to 123, and I reunited with Jude again. So don't really have a whole lot of juicy stories, but that's just what I wanted to say.
Anybody else want to tell any stories about Jude?
All right, so I've known Jude for a long time. We've known each other for longer than we remember. I've done scouts with him for all the way until I was out of scouts, and here I am to be at his Eagle. Glad to be here. But Jude, in the early days of scouting, was so shy. We'd go on summer camps, and he'd just kind of go right off out into the distance and just make animal noises, growling off to the side. He referred to it as going feral. So we'd just see him out there, walking over there. We'd come out, try to talk to him, and then he'd just dart away over to the other side. And it's been a lot of fun watching Jude as he goes through scouts, as he becomes more confident and, grows out of just more standing off to the woods and learning how to help people, teach people in the troop, getting other people to come out of their shells as well. So it's been a lot of fun doing scouting with Jude.
Would you care to come say a word about our fine young man here?
It's hard act to follow with all this other. Thank you. I'm Barb Toole from All Saints Episcopal Church. We have Father Joseph is here. He helped with it also. And Bonnie Pilcher, who is in charge of the community garden. The way we got this started was we have a community garden at our church for the refugees. And there's always something that needs to be done. And Jude was looking for a project. Yes, we did have a greenhouse that had to be put together. Well, when he saw the greenhouse, no instructions, 4 sides, a roof, and a little bag of screws that were probably 150 in a bag. So he had to put that together for us, and he did a super job. The other awesome thing that was not mentioned that he did for the church and the community garden is they built a workbench in that greenhouse. And the first time that we looked at that workbench, Bonnie and I and Father Joseph, we were just amazed. You know, we thought, okay, it'll just be a little workbench, you know, just awesome. It looked like a professional had done that workbench. It was just crafty. I mean, we were astonished, and we told him that. And they just did a wonderful job. I just couldn't believe it, that he went that far and did that. Of course, he was doing it for a couple old ladies, you know, so he had to do the best he could. And he did that. It was wonderful, Jude. I wrote notes here. I did have 20 pages down to read, but I thought maybe that might be a little too long, so. Oh, I'm starting on page 2. Whoops. During this project, Jude was very organized. He had things planned out. He kept myself and Father Joseph in the loop of what was happening and when it was going to happen. We got the paper signed when we were supposed to, and we did all of that. So that was very nice. That was organization. We didn't worry about anything getting done. And we didn't even check on him. He wouldn't let us see the bench till it was all done. Jude, All Saints Episcopal Church, we're very proud of what you have accomplished. Ross, Chris, and Chris, we are very lucky to have you guys as partnerships at our church. And these young men have done some service projects for us, and it is wonderful. They have been hard workers, right? I got to wake them up. Remember when I talked about you was going to help us on Recharge Day? And that, you know, you had to do all this work. I wasn't going to feed you in the morning or at noon. I was only going to feed you when you're done. Remember all that? You ought to have seen their faces when I said that. Then I said, okay, we're going to have chicken and chili and pizza. Then they were okay. You got to feed the boys. Again, Jude, we're very proud of you. I know we even have a couple more boys that are thinking of wanting a project. And I know Father Joseph and Bonnie and I are all eager to help someone else like we got to help you. Thank you, young man.
Another organization that Jude has volunteered a lot of his time with is the Awanas program here at the Summit Church. Would Judy Hart like to come forward and talk about his activities with that?
Hi, Judy. So good to see you.
Nice to see you and Max and Sydney. Well, I'm Judy Hart, known as Mrs. Hart. And anyway, Jude has been part of our Awana program for many, many years. Awana stands for All Workmen Are Not Ashamed, from 2 Timothy 2:15. And so it's a Bible-based children's ministry. But Jude, when they asked me if I would fill out a form about you getting your eagle, it was really funny when they said, how many years have you known Jude? And so I'm counting up the years, Jude, and then I finally went, the absolute truth is, Jude, it's when I was taller than you. But at Awana, Jude is just one of those guys, always has a chipper attitude, always happy to help, never says no to anything. He's just a great thing. Now, Jude, on that form, they wanted to know about your characteristics that you have, and I wrote a whole lot of nice things about you, but I ran out of room, and I wanted to bring out how much you love hats. How much you love chocolate. And how much you love Jesus. So it's been a real delight to be in Awana with Jude, and I'm so proud of this achievement. But Ross and Kara, you guys have walked many miles on your sore feet and your sore legs to get him to this point. So anyway, I just am proud of Jude, and I'm so excited for his future.
So most Scoutmasters are real lucky if they get to know a young man for 7 or 8 years. I've had the pleasure of knowing Jude his whole life. Being friends with his family, it's been wonderful watching him grow up into the young man he is now. From being all gangly and goofy all the time to getting where he is now. He's still kind of gangly and goofy, but he has been an excellent asset to our troop and our scout program for many, many years. When Ross and I kind of took over running Scout Troop 123, we'd go camping every month. We didn't have a lot of boys that would go camping with us, and a lot of months it was just the 3 of them. It was Jude, it was my son Max, and it was Quinlan. And they did numerous campouts and competition camps where it was just the 3 of them. But because of their scout spirit, in no small way, because of Jude, he had a lot of that, they came away from those competitions placing better than some of the big troops. When Jude was senior patrol leader with our troop, he was very active and very responsive in reaching out and contacting Webelos dens. I made contact with Pack 97, and he jumped on that ball. He would jump at every opportunity to talk to the young Webelos scouts and encourage them to go further in scouting. So he has truly been a shining example of what an Eagle Scout is. Is there anybody else that would like to come forward and share a few thoughts on Jude? Well, then I think at this point, we're going to allow Jude to come forward and say a few remarks.
Well, hi, everybody. So, I don't have anything planned, so I'm just going to talk and see where I go. You know, I've talked to big groups before, and this is the first time I've done it with a microphone. I don't know if I like it. To be quite honest with you, I might turn this off. Yeah, I'm turning this off. Oh yeah, I forgot the live stream. The thing that I requested. Whoops. Anyway, so if I asked everybody who I wanted to give thanks to come up here, there's not enough room in here, back there. There's not enough room, just simply put. But I did want to give one person a little extra gift as a thank you for being there for a long time. And yeah, could I have Mr. Chris Knight come back up here for a minute? I'm going to put this down for a second. So one of the things that the Scoutmaster does at the end of our Scout meetings is he gives something called a Scoutmaster Minute, which is just a quick little story that has a good lesson in it. And Mr. Knight gave some really good ones that I liked. I loved waiting until the end of the night to hear them, and I was like, I wonder if he's running out. So I thought, why not get him a book that has a lot of Scoutmaster minutes. I scrolled through this for a second after I got it, and there's some good stuff in here. So I wanted to give you this and let you continue doing great Scoutmaster minutes for these guys. And these guys, I haven't even gotten to them yet. Yep, you're very welcome. When they came up here earlier and I said I wouldn't be up here right now without you guys, I meant that. I don't remember who said it. Someone in there was like, but I haven't been here that long. You were still there. You still helped me. I still helped you. It's that simple. Yeah, so I just wanted to thank the troop, all of you guys. I wanted to thank everyone for coming. This is That's a lot of people. I'm just realizing. I'm kind of looking through and, oh, that's a lot of people. I don't know what else is up, but I know there's food, which I'm excited for because I'm hungry. And so, yeah, I'm going to give this back to whoever it needs to go to and probably get some food pretty soon, I hope.
Thank you, Jude. I'd like to call up Michael Killingstad one more time.
Excellent. Now we're all organized. So, since it is Thanksgiving time, I'll let you know what I'm thankful for a lot. It's people like Jude that keep scouting going. Okay? So, you all have a lot of work to do. So, again, I'd offer my congratulations to Jude and his family in Troop 123. And I declare this court of honor at an end. We have a few closing things to do, but give Jude one more hand since we're not done clapping tonight.
So as Jude said, a lot of times I like to close out our scout meetings with the Scoutmaster Minute. So real quick for you, did you know that the more refined a piece of steel is, the more value it has? For example, scrap steel is worth very little. It is sold by the pound and almost always sold in large quantities because it is hardly worth it just to buy a small amount. Now, if you take that scrap steel and you make it into something useful like a box of nails, you've increased the value of that steel by more than 4 times. Now suppose instead of nails, you work with that steel a little more and you make it into a set of tools. The steel that you started with is now worth even more. In fact, its value can now be up to 10 times the value of the nails and over 40 times that of the scrap metal. Service is that refining process for your character, and education is that refining process for your mind. You will find that the more value you build within yourselves, the more value you will be able to give to others. As we go through a closing benediction and closing flags, Ross has prepared a slideshow for all of us. Aiden, I'd like you to come up and lead the scouts in a closing flag ceremony, please. And then we'll have Father Joseph come up and lead us in a closing benediction.
All right, well, color guard to the back. Color guard attention, audience, please rise for the retrieval of the colors. Color guard forward, march. Color guard halt. Color guard prepare to retrieve the colors. Color guard retrieve the colors. Proper hand salute. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over the heart. Color guard reform ranks. Color guard about, face. Color guard forward, march. Color guard halt. 2. Color guard at ease, audience dismissed. Well, not quite. You may be seated, I guess.
Accept, O Lord, our thanks and praise for all that you have done for us. We thank you for the splendor of the whole creation, for the beauty of this world, for the wonder of life, and for the mystery of love. We thank you for the blessing of family and friends, and for the loving care which surrounds us on every side. We thank you for setting us at tasks which demand our best efforts, and for leading us to accomplishments which satisfy and delight us. We thank you also for those disappointments and failures that lead us to acknowledge our dependence on you alone. Above all, we thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, for the truth of his word and the example of his life, for his steadfast obedience by which he overcame temptation, for his dying through which he overcame death, and for his rising to life again, in which we are raised to the life of your kingdom. Grant us the gift of your Spirit, that we may know Christ and make him known, and through him at all times and in all places may give thanks to you in all things. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us all evermore. Amen.
Thank you, Father Joseph. We invite everyone present to come forward to congratulate the new Eagle Scout and his parents and join us for refreshments. We will be playing a slideshow. Please stick around and enjoy the fun pictures of Jude's adventures through scouting. Thank you.
And great, it's on. So, hey, we have a bunch of Jude's favorite things out there for y'all to eat on. So there's Guido's Pizza, there's Cokes to drink, there's pretzel sandwiches. I know it's like late, but please join us out there for a little bit, as long as you want to stay. And thanks again for coming, everybody.